Stephen Howson, full-time Devils post-match, Manchester City 0, Manchester United 1. The derby is ours, the city is ours, and the difference between the two sides, one Mancunian academy product, something that Manchester City do not have. I threw a tweet out before the match asking when was the last time City had a Mancunian in the side, and everybody thought it was Micah Richards, and the answer was that difficult that I don't even know for sure who the last Mancunian that City had in the side. People thinking it might be Michael Johnson, but that shows the difference in these two clubs. A Mancunian making the difference, something that City and their untold millions cannot buy. Marcus Rashford did it again, and do you know what? He could have done it time and time again, because that for me, in the first half, the end of the first half, was an absolute stonewall penalty, as clear-cut as you are ever going to see. His pace was absolutely terrifying him. The finish for his goal was absolutely sublime. The composure that he's shown to be going through and put us ahead like that in a Manchester derby, he must have known what was riding on it. Still did it cool as a cucumber. Unbelievable stuff. So what was the difference in the two sides today in the game? Well, for me, Morgan Schneiderlin. Now, I give Fellaini stick, and I give Fellaini stick because I don't see a footballer in him, and I don't see what he offers starting matches. So as soon as I saw the starting lineup today and I seen that he wasn't in it, I was confident. And I wasn't so confident because Carrick was alongside Schneiderlin. I thought we could probably have improved that there. Carrick did all right. I thought he was at times, he was a little bit exposed, but he did all right. Morgan Schneiderlin was moving the ball up, he was keeping it ticking left and right, he was blocking stuff off, he was making tackles. That is what Morgan Schneiderlin does. And for those who can't see what Morgan Schneiderlin does, I don't understand what you're watching when you watch football. Massively underrated and an absolute linchpin of what a team does when it's playing football. Schneiderlin gives you the platform to build on. That is it. It's as simple as that. I thought elsewhere around the pitch today, there was good performances everywhere, really. Rashford was terrifying when he got the ball. I think Marshall was a little bit isolated out on the left-hand side, but when he got it, he looked all right with it. Lingard, good to see the fight from him, but I'm not sure I like him there in the middle. Mata was fairly poor. I didn't think Mata had the best game ever. Obviously he got the assist for Rashford, but I don't really like him out there. I would prefer to see him operating in and around the middle. Mata is mint when you've got a team that's bullying people. If he was playing for this Bayern Munich side or this Barcelona side, or I could even see him in the Real Madrid side, I think he would look unbelievably good. But when you're in a team that's fighting, when you're in a team that has to look to maybe counter, when you're in a team that's not got so much possession and so many options and movement ahead of you, then I don't think he's always the right player. He wasn't awful today, but he didn't have a great game today. I thought there was times when I seen him out of position. There was times when he just wasn't quick enough moving the ball with his feet. So I think we could have improved on him. And I don't know what Memphis needs to do to get a game. I really don't. Memphis, for me, today would have thrived in all that space. And there was a stat came out at the start of the game. Marcus Rashford has played like the last 8 matches, just boom, that's it. He's in the team. And Memphis, and he's not been perfect, let's face it. He had a great couple of first games. And he's worked hard when he's been on, but he's not been unbelievable in all of those games, you know, and this isn't any sort of slight on the kid. He's done well, and we have to consider his age and everything else about him. He has done well, but he's not set the world alight in all of those games. So why was he getting 8 consecutive run of games when Memphis can't even get into the side? So I don't know what it is, whether he's just not doing something, a very specific instruction that Van Gaal or Giggs are giving him when he goes onto the pitch, and he's just not doing it. So when he comes off, they're like, well, you didn't do what we asked you to, so you're on the bench next week. I don't know what it is. Us from watching in the stands, we look at him and we go, that's a guy that should be playing for us. Schweinsteiger, when he came on, I didn't really tell where he was playing. He was almost playing like as a number 10, which I don't think suits him anymore. I think he's much better, deeper, and dictating play from that sort of playbacks, a quarterback sort of role, that playmaker, that deep playmaker, almost like Pirlo, but obviously stocky and with a massive head. I think that's where I like to see Schweinsteiger. I like to see him next to Schneiderlin, and I like Schneiderlin to do the dirty work and give it Schweinsteiger, who then distributes it up the pitch and makes things happen with it. Defensively, Chris Smalling got man of the match, and I thought he was a little bit shaky early on. Oh, and while we're talking about Chris Smalling, let's not forget that was an absolute dive that Aguero did with him. He was on a yellow. At first, when it happened in real time, I was like, oh, he's off here. That's definitely another yellow. And when we watched the replay, nope, it was a dive. It was an absolute blatant dive. So fair play to Oliver on that one, but 2 penalty shouts for us. I'm so glad that they don't define the game, because I'd have been absolutely sick, because for me both of them was penalties. Both of them, he's not played the ball whatsoever, he's just go to play the man and stop the man, and that's a foul. That's a foul in any language. So why has he bottled it, Oliver? You bottled it, mate. You absolutely bottled it, not by not giving them. De Gea did all right. The game changed for City when they put 2 men up front. And at first, it sort of left them quite shaky at the back. And I think what happened then was we sort of constricted ourselves to deal with the 2 strikers, and then we wasn't as potent going forward. I felt as the second half wore on, I was thinking we are going to need a second here because I can just see City scoring. We did amazingly well to keep it down to a clean sheet. And now we are within a point of Manchester City. After all the fanfare, after all the abuse, after everything that's happened this season, from Manchester City supposedly walking it when they signed Otamendi and De Bruyne and Sterling for £100 million, when they signed those 3 players, and the world's basically gifting them the title this season. It was City's to lose, was what everybody was saying, which probably turned out to be correct the way it's gone. City have absolutely bottled it this year, and Manchester United have been unfortunate that we've been so poor. Otherwise, we'd have capitalised on this. Any other season, a Manchester United team would have walked this league. But you can say the same about every other team in there. Any other season, a Chelsea side that's won the league in the past would have walked this season. Not Arsenal, because we know that they love finishing 4th. That's what they live for. But the way Manchester City have crumbled, the way Arsenal have crumbled, we need to just pick up by a couple of percent. If we play like we have, even as inconsistent as we have been, if we play like we did against Arsenal and City, and then the way we did against Liverpool, the home where we drew, that will be enough, I think. That will be enough to take us over the line into 4th, because I see City dropping even further. I do not see City picking this up at all. I see their heads going down, and I see them really tapering off in the way that Chelsea did at the start of the season, where it just compounds and compounds and compounds, and they're in danger of finishing 6th or 7th for me, which is hilarious. Absolutely hilarious considering the press and the easy ride that they've had in the press. United don't need to pick up too much. West Ham, we are now level on points with. We've got to watch out for them because they are hot and there's no pressure on them. They are the dark horses in this. They can easily slip in while everyone else is asleep. Hopefully, I don't know, maybe they take us in the cup and they concentrate on that to the end of the season. I don't know. I don't know what I'd prefer. I would prefer to finish in the top 4 and know that, but at the expense of having a good cup run, I don't know. Conflicted on that, but I think the top 4 is there for us. I mean, especially Arsenal, the way they fell off. Arsenal are the team that have got the ability within them to pick it up and stay in there. We only need one of the teams to fall out, but can you imagine Arsenal and City fall out and us and West Ham sneak into the top 4? What a mad season that's been. A United side that's been panned universally by everybody in the press, finishing top 4, and the rest of the top 4 is West Ham, Leicester, Tottenham. What? Football has been turned upon its head. So as long as we can sort of maintain some sort of competitive edge by staying in the top 4, staying in the Champions League, then whatever happens come the summer, which does look now like it's going to be pretty much confirmed that it's Jose Mourinho, we're in for a crazy ride, aren't we? So anyway, thank you for watching. Talk to me about who was your man of the match today, who was the standout performer, what's Memphis got to do to get a game, and how good is Marcus Rashford looking? Does he deserve to stay in the team? Or do you think that once everybody's fit, we'll probably never hear from him again? Bang it in the comments. Thanks for watching. Let's go and celebrate a derby win. Laters.